Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Shocking report about the Boston terror family, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. According to reporting by the Boston Herald, the Tsarnaev family received more than $100,000 in taxpayer-funded assistance since it came to the USA in 2002. As you know, Tamerlan Tsarnaev was shot dead by police after they tried to arrest him as one of the terror bombers. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev remains in a federal prison hospital in Massachusetts, guarded by the military. Even though the family was granted asylum in the USA and got an amazing amount of money from We the People, the mother is accusing America of murder.
What have you done with my son? He was alive. Why did they need to kill him? Why didn't send him to the, Guantanamo or whatever? Why did they kill him? Why? Why did they have to kill him?
Disgraceful. Perhaps Fox News anchor Jeanine Pirro put it best.
You came to suck the fat of our land, to take our money, to educate your terrorist sons, to steal from us, to go on public assistance, to get housing and food stamps while you drive your Mercedes-Benz, all the while your family going back and forth to the very country from which you claim political refuge. Most Americans can't even afford a vacation. They're losing their homes. If they're lucky enough to have a job, they live check to check.
Now, this story speaks not only to the immigration mess that family obviously should never have been in the United States, but also to the welfare chaos. Why are We the People supporting questionable foreign folks? For what reason? The Tsarnaev family wasn't persecuted in southern Russia. They freely went back there, as the judge pointed out. The whole thing is a giant con, which led to the murders of 4 Americans and the horrific wounds to scores of others. Yet where is the outrage from President Obama, from Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick? In fact, this Patrick's a piece of work. He didn't even want to make public the welfare payments to the Tsarnaev family. He had to be forced to do that by public opinion. What nerve! And again, where's the outrage? Other than Massachusetts Rep. David Linsky, who is demanding the Tsarnaev situation never happen again? Sad to say, few are doing what Linsky is doing. It's business as usual. Let pretty much anyone into the USA and then pay them with taxpayer money. Beyond belief. And that's amendment. Now for the top story tonight reaction. With us, our Barack and Hard Place duo, Monica Crowley and Alan Colmes. So, Colmes, I know you're as angry as me and
No, I don't share your outrage about
Judge
this
Pirro.
whatsoever. First of all, they've been in the country for 10 years.
Yeah.
This was welfare and food stamps that went to the parents who qualified. They were in the country illegally. We're talking about over a 10-year period going to 5 different people. We had no idea back 10 years ago when they first came here that they were going to be doing a terrorist act. We had no way to know that. You can't retroactively know that.
So there's nothing about this situation at all
I
that
think
bothers
this is manufactured outrage to go after people who are on welfare, people who go after immigrants.
Nothing. If you could look back, you would have done if you could go back in a time machine, you would have given them asylum.
We had no reason not to.
Okay. Even though they're going back and forth to the place that is persecuting them.
This is what we knew at the time.
No. They were still on welfare when they were going back and forth.
We didn't have a time machine back then. It didn't matter.
Driving a Mercedes-Benz automobile. Wait, Colmes, shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. All right? Driving a Mercedes-Benz automobile and getting welfare. It's okay.
Well, let me put this in context. The Mercedes-Benz was 10 years old. It was worth a couple of $1,000s.
No.
In terms of, yes, it was a 1998 Mercedes. Also,
you know how much those cost?
It was not a classic. Also, Deval Patrick was honoring the privacy laws about who gets government assistance. There were laws about that, Mr. O'Reilly.
So I'm sure that you see it differently.
Yes, you are safe to assume that. In America, apparently you have no privacy unless you want to blow up the United States and kill a bunch of Americans.
Well, that's not, wait. There are privacy laws. Colmes, right. However, in this case, the public good overrides that, and then Patrick
Yes,
released it.
and we're talking about public money. Bill, this is taxpayer money. Look, we're talking cash, food stamps, Section 8 housing. You're paying for Jahar's hospital bills. You paid for Tamerlan's public defense when he beat up his girlfriend in 2009. The list goes on and on. Senator Sessions, talking about the immigration bill, said there's a loophole in this bill that illegal immigrants would immediately gain access to state and local government assistance, like these family of terrorists just enjoyed for all of this time. We have an entitlement society that is now out of control. Record numbers of people on food stamps, Bill, 48 million, more than the entire population of Spain.
I agree with all you're saying, but you got to put it in some kind of perspective. Who was the president that presided over most of the food stamp explosion? Who?
Let me tell you, well,
Who?
You're talking about Lyndon Johnson.
No, I'm
you're
talking about George W. Bush.
George W. Bush. It did not originate with Barack Obama, but Barack
Right.
Obama's policies have put this on steroids.
Yes, he has taken it and run with it. But to be fair,
this has been going on for a long time.
presided over the
under
boom
both
in food
parties.
stamps.
That's right, big government
All right.
of both parties.
Colmes, I just don't understand how you can say, knowing what we know now, that if you went back in a time machine, you'd still allow this family to come here, even though they weren't being persecuted.
Correct.
That was a con.
That's correct.
All right? You would still give them $100,000, and we're not even counting the $2,500 that Joe Carr was getting to smoke pot in college. We're not even counting that. But the bottom line is this: there is no supervision over any of this. No supervision on asylum, no supervision on welfare payments. You can con the system, yet you wouldn't do anything about it.
At the time, qualified. They were legally here in the country. They did not have an income that qualified. At the time
At the
first time they started getting this, the younger brother was 8 or 9 years old. The other brother was 15 years old. As if we then were manufacturing terrorists by purposely giving them money to create terror.
No,
we had no way of knowing that.
It's the system that is rotten.
We can look at the system,
rotten.
but it has nothing to do with what happened to this family.
Of course it does. They took advantage of the rotten
system. They legally qualified at the time, which was in 2007, 2008, before Obama was president, by the way.
To get to your bigger point, Bill, we're talking about the wreckage of liberalism here. You've got entitlement programs that started out with a so-called noble intent, which is to give somebody a temporary hand up. What we now have is a permanent hand out. It becomes a way of life. So even if this family deserved those entitlements maybe for X number of times.
They didn't deserve
but
them.
let's stipulate that they did. Then it became a permanent way of life for over 10 years, amounting to $100,000.
They gamed the system. They should not have gotten. Look, you don't flee a country because you're afraid for your life and then go back on vacation, Colmes. And that's what they did. That's game number one. Game number two is they all came here and they all took all of the government assistance, federal and state, because Massachusetts is one of the most liberal welfare states in the union, okay? They gamed it for a why couldn't the guy get a job? Why couldn't he earn a living?
This was the father and the mother. This is not the brothers who committed the terror.
It's the family.
We're talking about $10,000 a year, maybe over a 10-year period, which is not a lot of money in the greater scheme of things.
Let me just make
for a family that could not afford to
wrap it up.
In the immigration debate, we hear a lot of this about how people just want to come here. It's the land of opportunity. They just want to be hardworking Americans, okay? They want a path to citizenship. A lot of that may be true. But in this case, and in so many other cases, Bill, you have the exact opposite. They don't see America as a land of opportunity. They see a land of suckers.
They game the system. We are suckers.
Yes.
All right, next on the rundown is the FBI.